So things are getting quite interesting here today in the crypto market. A lot of news surrounding Bitfinex and Tether and crypto capital. Arrests have been made. People are getting in trouble. The federal government is cracking down. Feds just seized part of Bitfinex's $850 million and arrests have been made. I don't think the U.S. government is very happy with what Bitfinex has been doing. Of course, guys, whenever you have something like Tether, fake fiat money, the government's not going to be very happy. Now here, I want to point out something in the Tether white paper that pretty much just says it all. So this is the Tether white paper, guys. If we scroll down to the part that talks about implementation weakness, this is a real kicker. This is like a big joke here. So under implementation weakness, they say, we understand that our implementation doesn't immediately create a fully trustless cryptocurrency system, mainly because users must trust Tether Limited and our corresponding legacy banking institution to be the custodian of the reserve assets. And it goes on here. But under this, it's listed in bullets that under implementation weakness in the Tether white paper, it says we could go bankrupt. Our bank could go insolvent. Our bank could freeze or confiscate the funds, right? All three of these are normal. All three of these make sense. But the fourth one says we could abscond the reserve funds. And what does abscond mean? It means leave hurriedly and secretly, typically to avoid detection of or arrest for an unlawful action such as theft. So in the Tether white paper, it says we could rob the reserve funds. That is what it says here. It says we could rob the reserve funds. Well, guys, it's all in plain sight. They told you up front. They said, hey, this is, we could just steal your money, right? So that right there, guys, this one bullet point pretty much says it all and wraps up the entire Tether situation. It is too damn easy in this market right now to manipulate and to create your own rules to play by. And that is what Bitfinex, Crypto Capital, and Tether have done, is they have created their own rules that they are playing by, and the US government is not happy about that. So just looking at the chart right now, this is the daily chart for Bitfinex to USD, or USDT rather. We came within $30 of that high. Bitfinex almost broke into the highest high of the entire run so far. Didn't quite make it though. Seeing a little bit of rejection right now. And if you're looking at Coinbase, we're not necessarily getting there, right? We're not necessarily, we're nowhere really near where Bitfinex is at. There's like a $300 difference between both exchanges. And Coinbase is in Bitstamp, they're attempting to catch up, but not really making it. Now, what you're seeing on the screen right now is the daily chart, and I basically just have this drawn out because if Bitcoin was to continue up, well, it's clear that we actually have like a micro parabolic run actually forming right now, guys. That we have a low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and these lows are actually exponentially getting higher, right? This is a parabolic trajectory that Bitcoin is on right now. And, if you just take your fibs from your highest swing high to your lowest swing low, well, your 236 is coming in at about $7,000, which would be a completion of the parabolic run, right? If you just look at the trajectory of this pattern, well, the completion of this parabolic run would actually come in around $7,000. This is actually if this parabolic run was going to continue, it likely would actually go all the way to 7,000. Now, of course, in order to make that happen, we're gonna have to get through some critical resistance here, which I think is going to be pretty staunch, and I'm highly doubtful about this outcome of a parabolic swing to the upside or a continuation of a parabolic move to the upside. I'm very doubtful of it. I personally think that, guys, as I've been showing on my videos recently and on my charts recently, if you're just looking at these two trend lines, it is likely, in my opinion, that we actually retest these trend lines. Whether Bitcoin just retests this upward sloping trend line and continues on, or if it tests lower, it continues on, or maybe we even end up getting some sort of double bottom eventually before continuing on. Now, again, guys, I'm actually far more certain that Bitcoin has hit bottom than hasn't hit bottom. I'm more certain that the bottom is in than not in, as I keep saying. But I still, as you guys know, I still think there is room to move down, to retest some of our upsloping support lines, and to retest really what I think the market is looking for right now is a retest of about $4,200. Now, what's interesting is, if I just back this out, I'll just remove everything off the chart. this high right here, if you just connect your highest high to your outermost resistance point, you know, your two most obvious resistance points of this trend, you know, we actually had a breakout above the macro trend resistance line. Now, of course, there's another macro trend resistance line that the market is using to interpret, which is this one right here. And if you just line those resistance points up, you can see that we're actually you know, above both macro trend resistance lines. And it is quite possible right now, you know, also finding support over that parabolic top at 5,000. Quite interesting, right? That is where we are currently finding our support right now, right here, right? So we're above both macro trend resistance lines, holding above $5,000 right now. And, you know, we have these you know, this upsloping support, that upsloping support, and then these two macro trend resistance lines. Personally, I think it's more likely that the price does retest this zone here, and most likely pulls back into the in between 3,700 and 4,200, which is the point of control of the overall trend right now. Again, there is a chance that this is, you know, right now at least, this is a parabolic trajectory, and there is a chance that this continues and we actually rally even higher, right? And of course, guys, with the whole Tether situation, if people are getting, you know, we have more bad news today. If people are leaving Tether, well, they need to buy Bitcoin. So that will likely continue to push the price up, or at least it would help Bitcoin maintain the current prices, if not have a continued pump. Now, guys, I'm not saying we should be relying on anything like this. I'm just saying that the potential is there. The setup is indeed there, right? But, you know, we'll see how much, you know, capitulation we get out of Tether that could actually fuel a continued run for Bitcoin. Now, I'm just looking at the 12-hour chart right now. A lot of people are looking at this and saying that it's a head and shoulders pattern, which is possible. We could be forming the right shoulder right now. And that would be a good indication of a decrease in momentum, and likely we would then be pulling back to retest some support, right? And that is still, guys, I know, you know, I keep saying this, but that is still what I think is most likely, is a pullback, right? You know, we're maintaining these prices, but there's a reason for that, right? We've had a lot of negative news, a lot of negative sentiment. But, you know, the reason why we're still maintaining the prices is because people are leaving Tether. People need to buy Bitcoin, right? Out of fear, people are buying Bitcoin. So, of course, the prices are being maintained right now. But I think once all that resolves itself, once word gets around enough, and, you know, maybe we have a continued pump, but I think eventually we'll get we're due for a pullback, guys. In my opinion, we're due for a pullback. But if this head and shoulders was going to play out, I think it would end up, you know, looking something like this, where, you know, middle of May, end of May, we would be getting the pullback. But of course, guys, we'll have to see how this all plays out. But anyway, if you enjoyed the video, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all in the next video.